Hey everybody, it's Friday. Voices from the Edge Roundtable. How's everybody doing?
Living the dream. I'm fine. How are you?
Wonderful.
The end of another crazy week.
Yep.
So today, if we look at our topics, first of all, everybody in the chat, welcome. If we look at the topics, they kind of seem like three completely different stories, or four at first glance, because we have the $1 billion ballroom proposal, if you haven't heard that. Fears surrounding this Hantavirus. We have some strict rules around gun laws in Colorado, and then, of course, the remapping in Tennessee. But underneath all of those, I always look for what brings them together. It's really about what are we prioritizing in America right now, or what is being prioritized for us? Because it's not for us, clearly. Where is our money going? What is anything being put in place to help Americans, to help us? Who's being protected? Ordinary Americans, I think we feel like that our concerns are no longer the center of the conversation, much less what's happening in our country. It's like we're not even here. So when we look at everything politically, socially, emotionally, it's like, hey, government, this is supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I saw a post today, and I may pull it up, where someone was pointing that out. It's like, I'm sorry, we can't feed hungry children lunches in schools, but we can pay $1 billion for a ballroom. We can't pay for Medicaid, but we can have $1 billion for a ballroom. And then how many millions and billions we're spending on this war or excursion. So those are the things we're going to talk about today. And then we're going to end it on a happy note because we're going into Mother's Day, and we don't want to forget that. So let's start with one of my favorite people to listen to, and that's Heather Cox Richardson. She is always the voice of reason to me. She's the history professor, and she just lays everything out in a rational, very calm way. So I just want to play this very beginning part where she talks about the reconciliation bill
for tonight's letter. But the thing that is just sticking in my craw, if you will, today is that the Senate Republicans introduced what they want for the budget reconciliation measure. Now, remember that because of the Senate filibuster, and remember, the filibuster essentially simply says that you can't make senators stop talking. So they could theoretically talk forever and nothing would ever get voted on. So there's a system for getting rid of people talking, but it takes 60 votes. It's called cloture, takes 60 votes. And what that essentially means is that the Senate has to, even though it's supposed to be a majority institution, it really needs 60 votes to get anything through. And I'm not going to argue about that today. Just have that in the back of your minds, because the Senate realized quickly that it had to exempt certain things from that system or nothing would ever get done in the Senate. And so one of the things that they exempted were financial measures so that the government can be financed. And what that means is you cannot filibuster something like a budget reconciliation bill. So what the Republicans have done since last year is they have used budget reconciliation. And by the way, the Democrats do the same thing when they're in power, but the Republicans have taken this to a fine art. Because what they've done is they've thrown everything they possibly can into a budget reconciliation measure because they can pass it without any Democratic votes at all. The only requirement is that whatever they are passing has to have something to do with financing. And theoretically, there is the Senate parliamentarian who makes the decisions about whether or not what they're putting in that bill are okay. That's not binding, but people do tend to defer to the Senate parliamentarian. Anyway, that's what measure they advanced yesterday evening. They put forward what they would like to see in the budget reconciliation measure that they're working on right now. And what's sticking in my craw, as I say, is that one of the things in that budget reconciliation measure, and I hope you're sitting down because this one is just so over the top, is $1 billion of taxpayer money for security features in the White House, including Trump's proposed ballroom. Remember that Trump tore down the East Wing of the White House on October 20th of last year, 2 days after the No Kings rally of October 18th. It was pretty clearly just a toddler peek that he was going to go ahead and knock down some, he had received a narcissistic injury by the fact so many people turned out on October 18th to say they didn't want him in office. So he turned around 2 days later and hurt us, did something that he knew would really upset people. He knocked down the East Wing of the White House. But then he sort of turned around and said, wait, you don't have to worry because we're going to build this entirely with private money, which itself is a huge problem because what you essentially saw was a number of very wealthy individuals or corporations using that vehicle as a way to put money in Trump's pocket, essentially. But that was what he kept maintaining, is that people who didn't want the ballroom were being ridiculous because it was going to be built for free and back and forth. And, we didn't have to worry about it. It was all going to be private money and so on. Now, Senate Republicans are saying that they want to appropriate $1 billion of taxpayer money for that expletive ballroom. That to me is, in a way, a bait and switch that looks a lot like the Republican Party's ideology since the 1980s.
And we're going to stop there. She goes on into history. $1 billion for this thing. And they're trying to justify it because they need better security now. They need a drone-proof roof. They need thick glass. They're building this fortress while people can't afford gas, while people can't afford groceries, while people can't afford health care. I don't know. What do you think? Let's hear from the panel.
Well, to me, it just sounds like it is a bait and switch because just like the SAVE Act didn't pass. So, okay, so I'll just gut the voters' right. So that was just another way to challenge voting for people. And $1 billion, I don't trust him. I don't trust him to do nothing he's doing. And I don't know. I mean, I know why we haven't impeached him because we're not in charge yet. But
right. This is another attempt for him to get it paid for. He says it's going to be public money, but yet I think that public money is really not coming in as he said it would because it's a bunch of his lies. And now he's like, oh, well, I need to get this money and get the ballroom going because there's an ulterior motive with him. Anything he does, there's always another motive than we are hearing. And then we see it, we're like, a lot of people are like, oh, okay. But us are like, what the? So I really feel that's where it's going. And, he should not have that money or anything. He said it was private donations. You know what? Make a private donation. You need $1 billion more? Ask them.
Well, it's so strange, too, because he finds so many excuses for anything he puts in place. And so now it's his security. Well, come on. You know, someone could get into the White House too, you know.
And what have they done about the school shootings?
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
right.
and the clubs that have been shot up, you know, they didn't get any special kind of treatment just because so many people not here no more.
He doesn't care.
He always finds a way to capitalize. Well, they had the whole governmental succession. The whole line of succession was in one place at one time. And obviously there wasn't very good security there. But this particular event, the president always has an invitation. It's not anything that's done by the president. So to equate the two and say, well, this happened, so this is why I need my ballroom. They're not going to have the White House Correspondents' Dinner at the White House ballroom. And so it's always a red herring with him. It's
Right.
always something that has absolutely nothing to do with the other. It's just a way for him to grift more money from the American people.
They started at the correspondence dinner at the one building at the hotel, and then they took it over to the White House, and the same people were there that was at the correspondence dinner, and nobody got shot, neither place.
No, and there was it might have been on this. Let's watch this clip and then we'll talk a little bit more. It might have been on this one.
Staying in Washington after the east wing of the White House was torn down, President Trump said again and again its replacement, a ballroom, would be entirely funded by private donations. But Republicans are now requesting about $1 billion in taxpayer money for heightened security on that ballroom after a third assassination attempt last month across town. Nancy Cordes is at the White House with details.
That's the entrance to the new ballroom that's being built.
At an event for military mothers today, President Trump raved about the new ballroom going up just a few feet away.
So if you hear any pounding noises, the pile drivers are out.
He did not mention the new controversy swirling over this, a funding bill drafted by Republican Senator Chuck Grassley that would provide up to $1 billion for security adjustments and upgrades related to the ballroom project. Trump has long insisted the ballroom would be free for taxpayers.
I'm paying for it. The country's not, and that's an expensive ballroom.
The bill does say that none of the funds may be used for non-security elements of the project. But Democrats argue that's irrelevant since the plans call for a drone-proof roof and 6-inch thick glass windows.
Look, American people are struggling, can't afford gas, can't afford groceries. They don't need to be paying for Donald Trump's golden ballroom.
I am the real Barack Obama.
In an interview with Stephen Colbert, former President Barack Obama argued Trump is trampling on long-held norms.
The White House shouldn't be able to direct the Attorney General to go around prosecuting whoever the president wants to prosecute.
What is your response?
CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez asked the Attorney General, Todd Blanche, about Obama's comments today.
There's something extraordinarily rich about a Democrat suggesting that this administration is charging our political adversaries. I mean, first of all, we're not.
Blanche was Trump's personal attorney before he joined the Department.
Yeah.
He cannot say that.
They boldly say the richest bullshit.
Just
Oh my God. I'm
But
like,
you know what's horrible about that? They're always going to get up and lie. But then the reporter just sits there and leaves that just sitting there without any pushback or a follow-up question or anything. It just infuriates me that these people are platformed. It's state TV at this point. We don't have any sort of real journalism going on.
Not in traditional media, a little bit. Traditional media, but we have to rely on independent.
and
right?
guys, remember, Blanche is an attorney. He has to have he has pledged an ethical oath to get, his bar license. And when any new attorney comes in, they have to swear.
He's going to lose his license.
Totally violating his ethical oath, with lying.
they're all going to lose their licenses. I hope that he has a good backup career.
Yeah, I hope
why
so.
wasn't his ear damaged when he got shot in the ear?
Yeah.
He just got right back up. I think it was just a blood pill that he had by his ear, and he burst it. And like I said, and then he didn't get shot at the correspondence dinner. Nobody shot him. This man it's all fake. Everything about him is fake. He's a liar. He lied more than 30,000 times when he was in office the first time. And all he does is continue to lie. I want him to go.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also heard him in that clip. I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah,
So I'm going to pay for it.
Mexico was going to pay for the wall.
Well, he can afford it with all the money he's grifted.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay.
But we all know, based on what they said, right? So they want a drone-proof roof, 6-inch thick glass. They didn't mention the bunker that they're building underneath. This is in preparation. What do you think this is in preparation?
You know what it's in preparation for, because he's not going to win, and he's going to hide in there, and he won't come out. He's going to be like a little 2-year-old kid. I'm not coming out.
Yep.
Oh, you better get a lot of McDonald's hamburgers.
And you know that
He's going to put food down there to last him 10 years, I bet you.
I bet. But here's the sad thing. It's all because he does not want to go to jail from his conviction, the 34 count convictions in New York State.
That's what they always forget to mention when they complain about Biden's DOJ going after him, is because he committed crimes.
That's right.
You know,
and
August. Anyone in the comments? Do we have what are our viewers saying?
Said something. Yanni said Mike Tyson's teeth did more damage than right.
Yanni is on point.
Yeah. So we're talking about shootings, right? And this will lead right into Andrea's topic, because we were talking about that before the show a little bit. What are they doing to protect our schools? What are they doing to protect our children? They're doing nothing, but they will protect this man until the cows come home with our money. So, Andrea, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. I thought we was going to talk about children. Well, first of all, I want to talk about Colorado. And I don't know if anybody's heard that Colorado has new restrictive gun laws, and which we needed new gun laws. And the first thing, if you can, I wanted to play that video.
Okay. This one, right?
Yes.
At least that one who will stand up
from the beginning.
He's just handed us a rallying cry. This fight is far from over.
Back a little,
we're playing for keep.
Colorado.
Yeah, just a little bit back.
A little more.
There, it should be okay.
Okay.
Republican congressional members among those lobbying the governor, Michael, they say the new law is unconstitutional. Supporters say it's common sense and will make Colorado safer for everyone.
We have been able to add to the safety of each and every Coloradan.
For Senator Tom Sullivan, the new law is a shining light in a long, dark journey that began when his son Alex was murdered in the Aurora Theater shooting.
My family made the decision that we would not be silent or indivisible. We would speak out and be present for all those who have been impacted by the public health crisis that is gun violence.
He's helped pass nearly 24 gun laws, although not as far as Sullivan wanted. The original version banned so-called assault weapons. Governor Polis negotiated several amendments, including an exemption for those who agreed to an extensive vetting process.
We can make sure that people who choose to buy guns, first of all, are able to choose the gun they want. but also that they're properly trained.
But the new law limits who qualifies for training. Individuals would need to pass a background check and receive an eligibility card from their county sheriff, who could deny it if they believed the person was a danger. Those eligible for training would need to pass a 12-hour course certified by Colorado Parks and Wildlife, unless they have hunter's training. And then it would be 4 hours. Their names would go into a state database, allowing them to purchase a gun after passing another background check.
This is going to put firearm ownership out of reach for a lot of those people.
Huey Laugesen with the Colorado State Shooting Association says the expense associated with obtaining a permit, training, and background checks infringes on people's constitutional right to keep and bear arms. The Shooting Association plans to sue.
Polis might think he's scoring points with the anti-gun crowd, but as far as we're concerned, he's just handed us a rallying cry. This fight is far from over, and we're playing for keeps.
So is Sullivan.
There is more to do, and I will always be at least that one who will stand up and be heard when it comes to taking action against the public health crisis that is gun violence.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, in Denver, Colorado, they have banned AR-15s and AK-47 assault weapons, and the reason they banning them is because they said they don't need a gun that shoots 60 rounds in a minute. We don't need guns that you can kill 60 people in a matter of a minute. But they're saying we need them, and it's actually Donald Trump that wants them to repeal that, because what they're really trying to do is get ICE in there. They want ICE to go to Colorado. And as of May 2026, Colorado has enacted significant new restrictions on semi-automatic firearms and is facing federal lawsuits over local bans and state-level magazine restrictions. A law in 2025 is called the SB 25003, effectively bans the sale and transfer of many semi-automatic rifles and shotguns, while the city of Denver is defending its longstanding local assault weapons ban against the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice in Denver says its 1989 city ordinance that bans the possession of certain assault weapons, including, again, AR-15 style rifles. Now, the Department of Justice, it gets confusing, lawsuit against the state is also challenging Colorado's 2013 state law that bans high capacity magazines. This one is over 15 rounds, arguing they are commonly used and protected by the Second Amendment. Denver officials have stated they will not repeal their local ban, asserting it is essential for public safety and that only a small fraction of guns recovered in the city are assault style weapons. Another thing they're doing is you can't bring assault style weapons to Colorado either. You can't bring them from another state. And again, they told you in the video, they're having training for people that are qualified to have certain types of weapons. They have to go through a training, which is $200. And I don't think $200 is that much money, because they spend $200 on weed in Colorado. Sure. So, $200 is nothing in Colorado. And the cost of living is very high there in Colorado. So Colorado officials defend the laws as necessary for public safety. And I agree, we don't need these type of weapons. We've never needed these type of weapons. And I don't know if anybody remembers in Las Vegas when the man stood in the hotel and shot all of those people. Of course. I don't know why we need all these guns. And I remember in Australia when they had this shooting with once before, they banned every weapon. You can't even have guns in Australia. So
Same
But
with one.
it didn't stop anything though, because the criminals don't follow the rules.
That's right. But it has
But
stopped it in Australia, but it hasn't stopped it in the United States. We are the most dangerous country in the world, really.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I don't know why we always feel like we got to shoot everybody. You know, I think that if I, you know, that we should be able to talk about stuff instead of I just pull out a gun and shoot you. That didn't
When you've
solve.
been done, when you're doing wrong, don't nobody want to talk no more. They just want to get it over with. That talking's done. That's antiquated.
Well, see, and the Indians, that's why they had the peace pipe. We just sit down and we can smoke some weed and we can get peaceable about this. We don't have to shoot nobody.
But just the men got to do it, not the women.
Weed or peyote. Yeah, one of the two.
But, you know, Andre, you know, down in Texas, that, you know, with Governor, you know, Greg Hot Wheels Abbott, he wound up getting rid of any of the training mandates and certification mandates
That's
down
right.
in Texas. And what happened after that? Uvalde and Allen Park Outlet Mall. And what kills me with that, you know, I really was hurting for both, but I was actually in the area of the Allen Park Outlet Mall when it happened. And one of my daughter's friends, now, you know, her roommate's husband, which is good, he was working there at the same time, you know, and this guy, you know, had AR-15. He had no business having one, but because he was over 18, doesn't have a criminal record, no training, no certifications are needed. Go have fun. Same with the 18-year-old.
They let you have children like that, so why won't they let you have a gun? I'm not going to be naive. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm not going to be naive about this. And in Colorado, they are the biggest one. They've had more mass shootings to me than anybody. You had Aurora, you had, of course, Columbine, the grocery store. They got a problem out there in Denver where they were having some. You have to look it up. It was a thing going on within the school system, and so I worry about Colorado. And
since they've had the ban, that's what I'm saying. They have not been having these shootings, but now again they want to repeal the ban, and I don't think it should be repealed.
I think they'll end up having the guns. I think even if they don't, I hate to say it, they're not going to be able to stop the person who doesn't care about that. So everybody who's going to the meetings and certifying themselves probably on the up and up. But maybe they just want the gun, but I feel like the person who's going to do harm with it either will show up and be disingenuous, or they will not show up at all and have access to it. And you can't bring it over the state lines, but who's going to stop me?
Well, the thing about it is, they have they have all that how the patrollers. What is it they call it when you go through them lines? You go through them in Colorado, them state
Customs,
inspections, and state inspections where you go through when you go to Colorado, and but I don't understand, because you can already have, you know, a regular gun. You just don't have access to automatic guns that kill so many people at one time. And to me, that should be sufficient. If somebody was breaking down the door at your house, you know, I think if you shot him once or twice, you know, he he's incapacitated. But you don't need to shoot him until he turned into dog meat.
And you don't need him for hunting either. You know, that's the other thing. It's like, oh, well, we're gonna go hunt. No, I live in Michigan. That would destroy the deer, destroy anything you're trying to do.
You can't even eat it then.
Yeah, you can't even eat it. And the hunters that are here are looking to shoot to have venison for food, you know, and that's the reason.
But these same ones that want their kid to have an AR-15. I live in Indiana my whole life, pretty much, and other than traveling, and I feel like in the Midwest, it's guns, 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 especially in the rural communities. I'm in a community now where I'm in a big MAGA community, I think. Well, I say in the area, and there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of little ammo shops and gun shops here and there. They got more than that than food. But and so I think it depends on the mentality. And I think they don't think, well, it won't be my child, or it won't be my nephew, or it won't be my brother. So we could practice and we can have these things, but we don't want these bad actors to have them. But the thing is, you don't know who the bad actors are.
Well, so, see, and one of the reasons that I've heard that they want these automatic weapons is, say if something really happened and we had this civil war, and then say black people don't have access, black or brown people don't have access to food, and if you try to go get some food off their land, they want to shoot everybody.
Exactly.
They're
going to shoot everybody. Ain't gonna want to.
They just want it for their protection, not. I mean, for us not to be able to eat and starve us to death. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, there's no purpose for military style weapons in the hands of a citizen. There just isn't. And if you live in rural Montana and you have grizzly bears, yeah, you might want a rifle or a shotgun, or for protection, or like you said, Lori, for hunting. But I think, Andrea, you hit the point. They want these guns for protection. Supposed to be this militia, right, according to our Constitution. And that's if something were to happen and the country fell, that they had these types of weapons.
A well-regulated
militia. Yeah.
I remember those words very distinctly.
So, but who are the people that keep getting shot?
Us.
Our kids.
Mm-hmm.
No.
The kids, black and brown people, and look, and we're building cages. We want assault weapons. These cages, they hold up to 10,000 people. This is making no sense that in every state, and that's what the complaint has been about too in a lot of cities, is why do we need this facility for 10,000 people?
Yeah,
we're bringing
concentration camps.
Criminals. They said we're bringing the criminals to their town.
We're a mess.
They're supposed to be deporting.
They are saying that here in Indiana.
Yeah, they said we're bringing.
We all know.
We're not getting rid of them. They want to use them to have people to work the land, I believe. Since they can't get us to do it, they trying their best to get us to do it, but we're not going back.
I don't know. Yeah, that's an ongoing topic that continues to
fester. It's my
continues
word.
to. That's a great word, Anitra. Thank you. Looking for it.
What year are we at again? 2026.
What was that? August. There was a comment. Who put that up with the stats? Was it for April? I thought that was.
Oh yeah, that there were 30 plus mass shootings and 24 school shootings, I think, in April.
I don't see it.
Yeah. You just can't never see them because either he's doing something or the body count for how many killed is not high enough for them to bother with.
It was at Lizzie. Yeah, got it.
There, yeah. 24 school shootings and 30 plus mass shootings altogether in April.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even talk about them anymore.
No.
It's just like, another shooting.
The babies that died 2 weeks ago, you don't hear nothing about them.
Because Trump's in control of the news, the weather.
He's saturating everything.
Who has how many jobs? They don't even tell you how many people are unemployed anymore. And for African American and brown people, this is the highest it's been in years.
Gonna get higher.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Good topic for us to keep our eye on. Anitra, since you're here, I'm going to move to your topic. Let's talk about Tennessee.
Tennessee, like the song used to say. So, of course, we know what the Supreme Court did a couple weeks ago now. I'm sorry, my timeline might be off with the Voters Act and how they basically the gerrymandering and they changed it in Louisiana, which made, to me, embolden the other states. So Tennessee said, "Oh, we're going to erase this map and we're going to do another one in a special session." And so, to break up, because they have really one main voter vote in the Memphis area, and it carries a lot of the brown and inner city and black votes, and it's the main one in Tennessee, but they're splitting it against two counties, and so they can split the vote. And it's all in an effort for Donald Trump to basically gerrymander himself into a better position for the midterms. And people aren't having it. And so I have some video of some people resisting, and I applaud them. Let's watch.
Is this the one?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you want to start from the beginning here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Speaker. I yield 5 minutes to Representative Greg Martin.
Representative Martin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's remind ourselves that while we're here in this special session,
Mr. Trooper, please go out that balcony over there. Please go out the balcony.
It's a lot.
Wow.
They did it.
For them.
I love that.
I love it too. It gave me inspiration.
Yeah.
People
They
are fed
serious
up.
about
People aren't taking it anymore.
And you can stop it if you want, but
Okay.
it goes on and on. And
Yeah,
they
but
continue to
yes.
shout, and they continue to shout, and then as they're leaving the they did pass their little stinky bill, and as they're leaving the I don't call it the where they make the bills at, the room, they're coming out, and the people are out there, and they got the horns and the whistles, and they're yelling, "Shame, shame!" We'll say pedophiles, we'll say files, and they're yelling protectors, and they keep going one at a time, and some of the congressmen are like, "Hey, oh," making faces and stuff like it's a cute thing. Some of them look like they're ashamed, but they did it, and but I have to say, they really got rowdy without hurting anyone. And they showed them they're not going to stand it. And even though it's happened, that doesn't mean that it has to continue to happen. Doesn't mean people shouldn't fight. But we're going backwards, and it's going to really hurt a lot of our agendas going forward, because they're going to gerrymander themselves out of it thanks to the Supreme Court. And I'm ashamed. I'm really ashamed of them right now.
I am too.
Yeah.
A little heartbroken. I ain't going to lie.
The way to fight back.
What I'm doing right
vote.
now, and what I do every day
Yeah.
when I'm out there in the streets.
Yeah.
And vote.
And vote.
And vote.
We have to vote. We have to vote like we've never voted in our lives. I mean, because we're voting for our lives this midterms.
You know, there were already Americans in the United States when the white people decided to come to the United States. And I wanted to know, I wonder what made them come to the United States. You know, did they get a memo or email or something, even though they didn't have them then, that they said, let's go take over the United States? I seem to disconnect it with what made them, because it says, give me your, your old, your tired.
What is the low? You missing a whole section, Miss Andrea. They had to go looking for some land, and they saw it, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna stop over here." And they stopped at Cuba, then Haiti. Then they was like, "Oh, here's a big man," and it's got.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
trees and
saying.
stuff.
But then they came and violently wanted to take it away, just like they're still trying to uphold that, is what I'm saying. And
they are.
Well, it
I think
wasn't
in
the
some cases, though.
diplomats. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, August.
It wasn't the diplomats that was exploring and coming out. It was the rebels. It was those that were in trouble in the British colonies that got on a ship and was, exploring to try to find new land. They saw the indigenous people and indicated that, oh, well, we'll just own this. We'll just take this. They didn't do it at first because they had bitter weather and they didn't know the lay of the land and most of their people were sick, I could sit down and do a history class with you.
Right.
But just to
And,
give
and
you
it should be
a heads
talked
up.
about more, because I think a lot of people are disconnected between how to, why did they leave Europe to come over here just to, kill all of us?
Some were sent here.
Yeah.
So there
And
were
some was
people who
looking
were
for
sent here
India and thought they found.
and Australia, right?
Yes.
So this was kind of deemed as a place that you were, abolished to. You were sent to these places, and then other people explored.
And then they had arrows and they had guns, and they was like, "Wait a minute, hey, these move
But also
faster."
remember too, like once we had everyone here, a lot of Republicans wanted to abolish, like get rid of our history and sort of like with slavery and how we really treated the Native Americans. And they just want to say, oh, we found this land. It's ours now.
Yeah, they did
I
that.
live in the
with the
town that is
movement of
named after a.
Santa Maria, and I understand that, but I don't think a lot of people hear that part of it, and that's because they have banned books and especially for people that are, say, 50 and younger.
Yeah, they need to look up a map of Native American tribes in the Americas before the United States was established. This land was occupied.
It was. My hometown and the towns by it are named after chiefs of Native American tribes. We have a state park in my hometown called Mounds, and it's got the burial grounds. And you find sometimes, often when they're doing some kind of excavation or something with land, they will find a Native American body. Within the last, I'm gonna say 10 years, they found one like by this little corner I used to be on all the time, walking around, and you never would know. And they find the arrowheads and all that, so they knew they were there. And they have these names, but it's like, well, what happened to all the people that went with those people? Because they're not here no more. And what's interesting is I live in a very red state. It is red, except for a couple spots. And the very people who love those grounds so much would kill them now, most of them, and they don't even realize it. And the other one, or either marginalize them. And then they said, and they, you hide at the Mexican restaurant, you hide on Cinco de Mayo, but you don't want them at your house unless they work it. How about that?
Yeah.
Plus, people don't realize how much Mexico.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Mexico used to be a lot bigger.
In where I used to live before I came here, a lot of the burial sites, they just built over them so that you didn't know that people actually existed here before. And like I said, we either have to teach our kids or I don't know how to get it back in the schools, because they, in Texas, they took it from all the colleges, they took it from all the high schools, they took it from the elementary schools. You can't teach any Black history. They took it out of the advanced learning. You can't even have you can't even be going for your master's and get African American studies.
I left this comment up because they want the history books to start with Columbus discovering America. Amerigo Vespucci was the one that stumbled upon America. So let's just make sure we're all in agreement. Thank you, Yanni.
Absolutely. Mo, you were wanting to say.
No, I was just saying, actually what Anitra was talking about, what's going on in Tennessee and what we're seeing, this wave of redistricting and gerrymandering in the South. Well, the original thing that we're talking about, they did it with violence. They took it with violence. Now they're taking it through legislation, but it's just as violent as them taking it with guns and rifles and everything else. So now they're just because they feel like they're passing laws, that they're not committing violence against people. And that's exactly what they're doing.
And that's why they need, like I said, that's why they want all of these assault weapons.
But they also want to do it through paper. She said, I think she's saying on both sides. So why not? And they're attacking us, and they want us dead. I hate to say it. They want the brown and Black people minimized, and the poor. And and who they deem as dumb or not in the clip, and they want to minimize us, and so you could do it through legislation and annihilation.
Yep.
I had hope for Virginia, but it looks like their Supreme Court shot it down.
Yep.
I don't know how it was voted on.
Well, what they're doing, the case that was brought, and there's still hope because it may not go through. Supposedly, they said that the way that they did it, the way that they worded it on the ballot, there was something not right or not lawful. So they're trying to overturn it on a technicality.
Right.
And so probably depending on the courts and depending on who's hearing this, it could still happen.
Right.
But at the same time, given everything that's been going on, chances are it may not happen. It may not happen. But that was the case that they brought. They said that something about the wording on the ballot was not right.
They always try to find the loophole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot of our treaties and things are done at the very final stages in French. They're written because Americans have so many different variations of what something can mean. It can be misconstrued. So the French is what you do and what you don't do. You know what I'm saying? You either did it or you didn't do it. It's very concrete. There's not a lot of waffle room, so they tend to write it in the final print in French. This is what I was learning about. So that there's no waffle room for this mess like this. It's what it means. It is what it says.
There's no three ways to interpret it. There's
right, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, so that's another thing we just have to keep our eye on. So Laura, I think you mentioned it, talking about Christopher Columbus bringing diseases to the country, right? Well, we have a cruise ship. And we have something called the Hantavirus. So we're going to talk about that just for a little bit, and then we'll move on to August on the Move. But this was an update. I had a couple of other videos about what it is, blah, blah, blah. This is the latest update.
Einiger and epidemiologist Anne Ramoyne. She's a professor at the UCLA Fielding School of Public Health. Josh, first, what is the status of this ship this morning?
Well, the ship, Anna, is motoring its way into its destination in the Canary Islands in Spain. And actually, people there are not thrilled. And we can show video right now of protests that happened this morning in the Canary Islands as people are trying to prevent the disembarkation of these passengers from this ship. Look, Anna, we've been through this. We've all seen this movie before with COVID, and it's definitely a different virus, but it certainly raises questions about how things work now in terms of virus prevention on a ship 6 years after COVID. We can show you the route that the ship took. It departed April 1st from southern Argentina, and then the first passenger died on April 11th. But then it was about a couple weeks after that they stopped and allowed people off the ship. About 24 of them were allowed to disembark and then travel to wherever they chose to go. And it was only about a week after that a passenger was actually diagnosed, and there was a case that was confirmed with Hantavirus. But none of the passengers who disembarked provided any kind of contact tracing, were asked to do that. And so it's been up to health authorities to try to track them down. At least 8 of those people are Americans in 5 different states across the U.S. They are said to be doing okay, but it's, of course, very concerning.
Professor, as I understand it, this is a rare strain of Hantavirus, the Andes strain. People are, of course, scared as we see these protests in Spain and in the Canary Islands. What do we know about this particular strain and treatments?
Well, this strain, the Andes strain, is the one hantavirus that can actually spread from person to person. And so that's why we're doing all of the contact tracing and making sure that we understand who has potentially been exposed, and either isolating those people who are sick, quarantining those people who've been exposed here. In terms of treatments, it's supportive care. And the earlier that you can get care to somebody who becomes symptomatic, the better the outcomes are likely to be.
Josh, what do we know about the origin, how and where people contracted this virus?
As far as I know, that's still a mystery. We're waiting for authorities to provide that information. I mean, it was somebody who was on the ship, whether it contracted it at the origination point in Argentina, or perhaps it was on the ship already. a crew member. That much is unclear as far as we know. We do know that the National Institutes of Health, the CDC, put out a statement basically suggesting that Americans are not in any danger through all of this. There are 5 states right now that are monitoring. There's the statement. The risk to the American public there at the bottom there is very low, according to the director of the United States National Institutes of Health. Those are the 5 states. You're looking at there: California, Arizona, Texas, Georgia, and Virginia. California has at least one, but some number of people that have not yet confirmed. The other states there are 2 states with at least 2 people who came off that ship. But again, we're told that they're okay and they're quarantining.
And that was Texas.
But it does raise a lot of questions
Yeah.
about how the system works after all we learned, several.
So I'll pull up there what I listened to, but I listened to several of these. It's supposedly a 6-week incubation period. So these people can present without symptoms. You heard 8?
Right.
Yeah, I heard 8.
I heard 8 also. Yeah.
Yeah, they said 80. I heard them too.
And
I
sometimes,
heard 6, but still, that's a long time.
well, they're negligent in the epidemiology part. I know, I mean, I'm sure everybody's not just a lay person, but I do know a little bit about it. And the thing about it is once they let the people out, they lost control of it. They could say they're tracking or whatever, but you could track who you want to track. But it's that one immunocompromised person, or it's that one person who you spend a little extra time with in the bathroom, or they went in the stall after you, that you don't know. So once they let them off the ship, they lost control of the virus. And what people, I don't know if people know it, but a virus teaches another virus. It'll teach the same kind of virus how to mutate. And that's why you have these strands. So now you have it out there, it can mutate to save itself because it wants to live. So we don't know. And they can say it's a small area, you got to be in close proximity, but there is a flight attendant that is hospitalized now that was in contact with one of them. So we don't know.
They had to take a flight in order to get back home. But I just want to say, they're trying to keep the worry down. So they will say anything so that there is not mass panic. But folks, panic because as Anitra indicated, the mutation is the bad part about this. And people do not wash their hands. So be mindful of it and take care of yourself.
Well, and I think Angry Army Vet posted up earlier, it's hard to trust anything they say at this point.
Yes, exactly.
And they've gotten rid of the scientists.
Right. And didn't they pull us out of the WHO?
They pulled us out of WHO.
So again, what are the priorities for the American people?
And that's how all of this information that I'm talking about, that's how it gets all lost, is because people die off and don't pass the information on to their, their ancestors, to their family, to their people that's coming.
On my way home from work this morning, I was listening to radio, and I was feeling kind of dismayed. And I was listening to like some podcasts, different things, and all of a sudden, my radio switched over to my music, and it was Michael Jackson. They don't really care about us, and I just rocked out to it. I cranked it up.
Wow!
They kicked me, and I was like, "You daggone right!" And I started it again, and I came, and I thought, man, it kind of energized me, but I thought, my heart's broken. I don't usually say that, but my heart is broken by the United States. It's not just that. It's not about country. It's about, this is just my home. I don't know any place else. This is what we try to do. We're just trying to live and be the best that we can for each other. And if you're bigoted or you got a problem, stay in your house and stay in your lane. But don't bring it to me, because when you bring it to me, I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to bring it with more energy. So that's that.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got to keep our eye now on another bug. So let's go ahead. We're getting close here, so I want to make sure that we go to August on the Move. What you got for us today, August?
Hey, sweet people. We are going to switch gears. We're going to lighten it up, but also we're going to get that tissue box because it is Mother's Day weekend, and we want to make sure that we are celebrating mothers from August on the Move and We the People. We want to ensure that you know how much we love you. So let's start off with our old president, President Barack Obama, he's celebrating his mom. Let's see how he's celebrating her.
Oh.
It's a silent celebration.
Didn't live to see me as president, but she was reflected in everything I did.
Barack Obama is sharing the heartfelt way he is honoring his mom in the upcoming Obama Presidential Center. During an interview which aired on Today, May 6th, with Jenna Bush Hager, though originally conducted in April, the former president explained that an area of the campus will include a water terrace named in honor of his late mom, Ann Dunham.
It's a fountain that's designed where kids can run in and out of the fountain and play in it and splash in it. And she loved kids.
Dunham passed away in 1995 at age 52, 13 years before her son was elected president in 2008. Obama additionally reflected on what his mom instilled in him.
You know, my mom didn't live to see me as president, but she was reflected in everything I did as president, because she was a kind person, somebody who believed in doing things for other folks and not just thinking for yourself. A lot of those values of respecting people regardless of their backgrounds and listening to them and learning from them, I learned from her. Point to being able to sit there, maybe not right during the opening because it'll be really packed, but maybe 20 years from now where people won't know, I can sneak over there and just sit there and watch some kids run through some water on a nice summer day, and I know that would make her happy.
The 19-acre campus will additionally include a public library, a museum, community spaces, public art and recording studios, and even more places to engage in activities as well as sports.
We got that playground for kids to play in.
Hey! That was fantastic.
And a community garden following up on what Michelle did, and a basketball court and a gym, because I think sports are central to who we are, and an auditorium where public speakers will come in, and young people who are bringing about change in their communities can come together and convene and learn and practice civic leadership.
The Obama Presidential Center, located on Chicago's South Side, opens on Juneteenth this summer.
I love that. It
So
looks
let's
beautiful.
think about that. Let's think about that, guys. He didn't say that he's putting his name on it in big, bright letters. He's not putting his face on it. He's thinking about the kids. He's thinking about his mom. He's dedicating it to others, not to himself. Go ahead, Kimmy. What were you saying?
No, I said
No, it looks beautiful. I was saying it looks, I was watching earlier with his interview with Colbert, and they were showing a little bit. It looks beautiful. I would love to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went ahead and became a founding member, but unfortunately I won't be able to get out there for the opening, but I am definite. That's on my bucket list. I'm planning on going to see that.
Guys. Yeah. I'll go to Chicago.
Hey, let's go.
Next trip.
It sounds like it's another trip. Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I have more for you, you guys. I'm not finished with you yet. We have another tribute. It is a silent one. Here you go, moms. Simply
How beautiful is
beautiful.
that?
It's so beautiful.
How
Oh my
beautiful
goodness.
is
I want
that?
to cuddle now. I want to cuddle.
Well,
That's so cute.
well, let's keep it
That's so
going.
beautiful.
It was beautiful. But you haven't seen anything else. Now I have to make you laugh because I'm gonna bring you the kid president. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh, no.
Did it come to stage yet? No.
Not yet.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, it's coming up.
Uh-oh.
Mom! Best word in the world. No matter what language you say it in. Mer, mutter, madre, okasan. It's all mom. Even your name is great. If you reverse it, it sounds the same. Mom! See, that's how awesome you are. You even sound good backwards. That's why moms have to stick together. Because if you don't, we're gonna take over. And you don't want us kids taking over. And you gotta take it easy on yourself, moms. Don't judge Judy each other or battle another mom because she makes a different choice with her kid. I heard she's still breastfeeding. That's just gross. You gotta have each other's backs, moms. Don't talk bad about another mom. Be confident. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Come on, isn't that what you're always telling us? Because being a mom is tough. Whether you're a working mom or a stay-at-home mom or a working stay-at-home mom, that's hard. I can't do that. Especially when it's your turn to bring the gluten-free, sugar-free, peanut-free, taste-free cookies to school. That's impossible. What is this? What is on it? Oh, can I throw it up? It's impossible for you to make a cookie out of kale. I'm your mom for support each other. Help each other make good cookies. Why do moms feel that they have to be perfect? Nobody's perfect. I mean, except me. I'm always perfect. Maybe not always. You just gotta be you. You know what a perfect mom looks like? Look in the mirror. The world's awesome because you're it. This kids just want to say, thank you, moms. Thank you for handling everything. Like all the poop. Just gotta tighten up that gut and let it slide out. And all the throw up. And all the dirty diapers. Baby, baby, baby. Oh. Thank you for your mother. Thank you for your hugs. Thank you for your smiles. And thank you for your incredible momness. Yeah, momness. That's a word. Look it up. So listen up, moms. Without moms, what would be a bad, sad place? Thank you for making us feel special every day, for showing up every day, and for making everything better. So moms, keep mommying, because the world needs you moms more than ever. Now let's mom dance. Hey! 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 Yeah? KP out.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. And August would like to close out. Hopefully, I was able to make you smile. I have one last tribute. And here you go, moms. You are our shining stars. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being who you are. And always remember this. So get your tissue box ready because it's about to go down. As soon as I can pull it. Come on up.
Get my tissue.
Give me a second. Here it is. All right. Let's add it to the stage. And here you go, moms. Enjoy.
I love you forever. I love you forever. I'll love you forever.
Wait, let's get a pic.
I got a better idea.
I'll love you forever.
Hello? Love you forever.
This Mother's
Wow.
Day, remember to love her forever. And from my house to yours, from we the people to yours, we will love you forever. Thank you, mothers, for standing up, being in that fight, and loving us forever. Back over to you, Kim.
Thank you, August. That one hit home for me. I have 2 boys. Yeah. So yes, absolutely. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers out there, grandmothers and aunties who step in as mothers. Miss Maureen. So there's nothing, yeah. Gee, I'm speechless after that.
You just shut us down, August.
Yeah. We see you, we appreciate you, we celebrate you, and we honor you. Always know how much you matter. Absolutely. So, Andrea, I'm going to save your funnies for next week because I think this is where we need to end it today.
Yeah.
All mommies, have a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. Kiss
Happy
those babies.
Mother's Day.
I don't care how big they are.
Mm.
Mine's 40 and 30, and I.
Mhm.
My babies have babies, but they're still my babies.
Yeah.
I still have my mommy, and my kids have their mommy, so I'm going to celebrate.
Blessing.
All right, everybody, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us today, for your ongoing support. And we will be back next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please like and subscribe, share. We also did our broadcast from Instagram and Substack today. So we're branching out.
Yeah.
So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great weekend. We'll see ya next week.
Bye-bye.
Love ya.
Thank you.
Love you.
We the people unite.